What up, everyone? Eddie, what's up, homie? Tommy, Brittany, David, how's it going? Whew. I just got back from the gym like 15 minutes ago. I'm a little whooped. I'm a little flush. How's everybody's Monday going? Good, I hope. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Hopefully everybody had a good week. Wasn't really anything to report last week, and I was sick. And on top of being sick, I started a new workout routine on Monday, and I was just beat to death. And I'd have been on here like, so just figured it'd be better to just get some R&R. How's it going, Tim, Adam? Oh, bro, no, I'm not, I'm not doing those now. I'm doing Mike Tyson's. Actually, I'm not doing those either. I just switched up my new routine doing hill climbers. But I was doing Mike Tyson's. Well, I was doing a variation. He goes up and back at the same time. You know what I mean? He does this kind of motion. I was going up with the push up and then back forward, down. It worked them shoulders and them biceps and that core, like, whew. Legs healing up good. Thank you. No, can't even. It's like it never even happened, other than a little bitty scar. That's right. The safety meeting. I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Like I said, last week I started a new workout routine. It's pretty intense. So my butt was whooped all last week. And yesterday I pretty much napped all day. And I think my body recovered just in time to start all over again today. Legs doing good, thanks. It's like it never even happened. The Tony video? Oh, yes, I've seen it. Everybody sent it to me ASAP. Me either, man. I'm excited to get back to that. I decided that I'm not going to, this winter, I'm not going to travel to races. There's 2 races I'm going to for the rest of this year. Well, there's 3 events I'm going to do for the rest of this year. And then I'm going to focus on behind the wheel until probably like March or April. So I won't be at any races. 2 things, man, did behind the wheel 2 years ago, and I enjoyed it, had a lot of fun with it. I still have a handful of episodes that never got edited and posted, so I'm going to try and get on those to finish out season 1. And then, but this last year, I've taken like 4 online courses. I've probably spent, I know it's going to sound crazy, but it's kind of how I get OCD and do stuff this way. I've probably spent close to 300 hours over the last year taking online courses on how to shoot better video and all that stuff, and upgraded my equipment as I can over the last 2 years so I can really make some high quality content and showcase, the local guys who don't necessarily get put in the spotlight as much as the other guys and gals. So I'm just trying to put that whole program together for the winter. Want to do something that was kind of OGR kind of started off in that respect, kind of like to highlight the lesser known people. And it might seem like I got away from that a little bit, but I haven't. I've just been in the lab quietly, upgrading my skills and my equipment and getting ready to hopefully step my game up this year for season 2 of Behind the Wheel. Also, you haven't seen much race content from me. I'll be honest. Everybody and their mom is standing at the starting line these days and filming races and got a little bit of commentary. I'm bored as hell with it. There's like, you go to a race and there's 37 videos, and these guys got cell phones and they're editing videos and posting rounds up before, doing these videos where round one is edited and posted to YouTube before round two's even been run. And people say do better quality content than them and blah, blah, blah. And whatever, man. I'd rather do my own thing. I'll stuff and whatnot, but I don't want to be one fish in the sea of 1,000. I've kind of been there, done that, and did a pretty decent job at it. Wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst, but time for me to move on from that as far as an exclusive thing. No, I can't. I can go to the YouTube channel and watch the behind the wheel episodes from season 1. I believe there's about a dozen or so on there, and you can kind of get a feel for what it is and what we do. This season, most of those were 10 to 15 minute long. This time I'm going to try to do like half-hour episodes and get a little more in depth and go a little deeper with everyone and really give everybody the opportunity to know each other a little bit better. But basically, stay tuned. I'm still outlining everything. But again, it is here. I'll post the link if you're not familiar with it already. And you can watch season 1. Had a lot of fun doing these. So there's the link address for everyone that hasn't seen them before. OGR Stoos has a nice ring to it. Buddy, I wish I had a budget, man. Nobody's a no-name, man. Everybody's up and coming. You know what I mean? Hell, I'm a no-name. I've been on the sidelines so long. But there's the link to it. If you're not familiar with it, go watch them. My man Jeff Thomas is on there. Tony McKinney's on there. Both those guys will be on tonight. And I had a lot of fun doing those. So like I said, really learned a little bit more about doing documentaries and how they're structured and how to do them better. And I'm hoping this season, we'll do better quality. And like I said, hoping I can do them so they're more like a half hour long and we can really get to know everybody a little bit better. Absolutely. I'm totally proud of what, the first season, had a great time doing it. And I thought they turned out great, all things considered. But I'd just like to improve. That's all. Here shortly. So there is a post on the Ohio Grudge Racing Facebook page. I know some people have posted on there, we'd like to see more local racers instead of all these big names, but then they don't name anybody. I can't read your minds. I don't know what you want if you don't tell me. So tag those people, go to the Facebook page, tag those people in that post so that I know who it is you want to see. So that way, as I'm compiling the list, I can figure it out, because a lot of this is going to happen where I'll go to, say, Michigan for a weekend, and I'm going to coordinate, 2, 3, 4, 5, however I can make it work out to be the most efficient and get the most amount of interviews in that weekend, during a Friday and a Saturday. And then the following weekend, or the next time I go out, whatever that is, I'll go to, say, Indiana or Canada. So far, I've got Canada, Michigan, Indiana on my radar. Ohio, of course. But I do want to travel out farther. So I need names. Don't just tell me. I like to see local guys. I don't know who local guys are. I need names. So go on the Facebook page and tag who you'd like to see and help me compile the list of who you guys want to see so that I can bring you the content that you want to see. Let's see. We got one with Jasper on there, but I'm going to redo. We're going to go. Of course, when we go to Michigan, we're going to have to do another one. Get the update. What's up? How you doing, homie? Anywhere in the United States. I need to compile a list, and then I need to figure out a budget. So I don't care where in the United States. Give me any and all recommendations, and then that way I can figure out how to budget all this. But I stayed home this weekend, working on the Blazer, which didn't even happen. Ended up Saturday spending a lot of time on messages and in person with a couple people who've reached out to me about personal stuff, and just trying to, I don't know, share some of my experiences with people. And that pretty much ate up Saturday. And then Sunday I just crashed. The workout kicked my ass, and I just crashed all day. Me and the cat were on the bed all day. No, that's not on my schedule, buddy. Sorry. The last 3 that I'll be to is the last Cincy Street nights. I'll be to Black Friday weekend, which will be Decker Brothers and US 60, and then PRI. This is the last 3 events I'm doing this year. So anyhow, Jeff had a hell of a race this weekend. I got to watch that on No Prep Felons. A lot of fast action, a lot of great cars showed up. So Jeff's in the lobby, waiting to come in and tell us all about it. I wish I could have been there, but I'm trying to race at these things. I'm tired of spectating and filming. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, guys?
Great. How are you?
Good. Good.
So tell us all about the Purge.
Oh man, first thing is, man, what an awesome track for an event. I mean, lots of different tracks have different things that make them cool. You know what I'm saying? But this facility's out in the middle of the country, not in the woods like Brown County, but out in the middle of nowhere. But they got a really, really, really nice facility, bathrooms and showers and a big concession stand. I can't even remember now, like 100 and some RV hookups right on the property,
Nice.
And it was short notice to put this on. Jeremy Wagler, that owns the track and the property, is just awesome dude, man. He's awesome, and he's another one of them guys. He probably just wants to see his track filled with spectators. I don't think he really cares too much about the money. You know what I mean? Like, he just he wants to see the track. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like, he wants to see it badass events, not some subpar, half-ass thrown together, joke of a race. You know what I mean? So And he's willing to grow with us. So, I mean, I'm a straight up guy. I told him from the get. I mean, we put this together in 3 weeks, promoted it as good as we could, had some great sponsors, had a great payout for the car count. I mean, what was it? Small Tire paid $61.50, I think.
Nice.
Plus a set of slicks, plus a $500 gift card to Motion Raceworks, plus a couple other things, So, I mean, of course, old Ryan cashed in. I mean, he's really on his game right now. Him and the Prestons. So there were some awesome cars there, and we had everybody. Limpy, Jamie, I keep my crew in there. I didn't make no money. I lost some money, but that's what you got to do to make an event successful. You know what I mean? You got to invest in yourself to make it happen. You know what I mean? If you scared money don't make money. That's like a cliche, but it's pretty true.
Oh yeah, there's an investment period in building a good race for sure.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I couldn't be any happier with the scenario. I mean, Javi that owns the track at Brown County, he and I have a great relationship. Me and Jeremy have a great relationship so far, and he's excited about it. The town around there is excited about it, and I think if nobody knows, I guess we'll announce it on here right now, is Gangster's Paradise will be at Wagler next year.
Nice.
So Gangster, and the reason for that is, I mean, nobody loves Brown County more than me, but I don't want to have 3 events at Brown County, and I like having the spring event and the fall event at Brown County. And honestly, Wagler is set up better for a huge crowd, and I really think Gangster's Paradise is going to do that. So now I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody on here will tell me, I don't want to race at your fucking $500 buy-in race. All the guys, my car's not fast enough, cry, all that, but whatever. The best thing, what the great thing about racing is, Josh?
Somebody's always crying.
No, the best thing is this. You don't have to fucking go.
Oh, yeah. There's 1,000 races every weekend.
Stay home. If you don't like a race, stay home. It's that simple. And then here's part 2 of that. If you don't like a race and you still attend it for some reason, don't be stupid enough to run your mouth all over the internet about how shitty it is. And here's why I say that. Every race I've been to, I didn't agree with or like everything there. But if a promoter's putting the effort in to try to put a good event on and pay a purse and trying to get sponsors, right? Why you want to go on the internet and knock them down? Especially some people that have clout, if you want to call it that. Why go on there and do that? You know what I mean? Because what happens when you do that? Some people believe the shit you say, and then maybe they don't come support the event, which hurts the track, hurts the payout for the racers, hurts the promoter. It doesn't do one thing positive. You know what I mean? Like, stay off the keyboard, man. If somebody's got a problem, I can promise you this. I'm a reasonable person. You know what I mean? If you've got an issue with my event and you reach out to me and say, hey, Jeff, like, for example, a couple people told me at Brown County, the dust, sucked. I agree. Next race, I'm going to have a water truck there. I didn't cuss them out when they told me that. You get what I'm saying? We try to improve on things. If there's something I do at my event that you don't like and you bring it up to me, I might tell you I'm sorry. I'm not changing that, But once again, what do they have the option to do then? Not come to the event. Pretty simple.
Oh. Yeah, it's an unfortunate new trend of people being brave and bold on social media. Most of them would never dare say any of that stuff to somebody's face.
No, and hey, another thing, so I don't forget, for the record, I do not test at my own events and not let other people. There's one idiot out there that likes to say that. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I've never in my life made a test hit from the tree side at Brown County. Never. I made one hit at Wagler before and I crashed my Vega. So I went about 200 feet. That was before we ever knew we were going to have a race there. But nonetheless, I just think it's another thing I'm going to say, just so my 2 cents is out there. Since the very first motorized race ever happened in history, money has played a part in it, and it will continue to do so until the end of the world. Okay. So, And one other thing I want to say about that is people that are out there dominating. Ryan Mitchell and I had a conversation about this Saturday. Ryan Mitchell's not filthy rich. You know what I mean? You know what he does? What he does though, he works harder than everybody else. I mean, me and Ryan were talking about this like right now. If I need a billet motor, if I feel like I need a billet motor to win or to be competitive, I'm going to go work harder and make more money. I'm not going to work 9 to 5, go sit on my couch. I'll be out doing something else, hustling to make the money to get what I need. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a lot of sympathy for guys that say the stuff like, well, I can't afford this, or I can't, if you want something, you can make it happen. That's the beauty of America, period. Right?
Absolutely.
So, and now by the same token, that doesn't mean that I think everybody that doesn't have a billet Hemi, shouldn't be able to race. There needs to be a place where they fit in. Unfortunately, I can tell you this, War in the Woods is never going to have a 530 index class in it if I'm still breathing. Okay, you know what I mean? So that's just, there's a place for everybody. Some places isn't the place for that person, right?
Oh, absolutely. And so also along those lines, Jeff, I think you're one of the top tier guys. I think that's a pretty safe statement. Did you come into no prep racing with all the money and experience and pedigree that you have now, like day one?
Absolutely not. Not a clue. I was a motorcycle racer.
You accumulated all that over time, right?
Oh, with spending money, breaking stuff, learning stuff every step of the way. And for some reason, I'm still stupid enough to be running nitrous. So for all those people out there that think I'm not really that smart, well, you're probably right to some extent, but it is pretty satisfying, like to go to the finals at War in the Woods in a nitrous car. I mean, even if I did get a little lucky, or this or that, but I mean, the things evolve. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Ryan and I were talking about that too the other night. 2 years ago, all of us would have bet nobody's going to go 460 at War in the Woods. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 2 years ago, 5.0s were the top tier guys. You know what I'm saying?
Jaw dropping. Yeah.
It is jaw dropping. I mean, the things have progressed that quickly, but that's how it is. I mean, and a lot of people would argue that that's what's one of the most awesome things about racing, right? The evolution of racing itself. And, I personally just don't really think a lot of it has to do with money. I think that what a bigger thing that people don't say is you got to be willing to make a sacrifice to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, that may mean that your other forms of social life stop. You know what I mean? Instead of living in a $700,000 house, you live in a $200,000, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it depends on how bad you want something, right?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Look at you. Here's a perfect example. If you're out of shape and you're unhealthy, it comes down to one thing: get off your ass and do something about it, right? I mean, you can over exaggerate that and over complicate it, but it's really as simple as that, right?
Oh yeah. No, listen, my blazer would be done if I wasn't as dedicated to fitness as I am right now. Yeah. Period. I spend 2-3 hours a day in the gym. It is what it is, but that's my priority.
That's your priority. And there's nothing. And here's the thing, you know what? Like, I'm not dogging on anybody that doesn't have a car that's capable of competing at certain events. I'm not at all. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own personal choice to make. What I am complaining about is this: don't bitch about it. Either do something about it or don't race. That's real simple to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that. Like, I've always said this before. We always have this talk, which I think is funny, right? Everybody knows I'm usually late to the races. The only races I'm not late to are the ones I put on. Okay.
Sometimes.
Right? Yeah. So I'm always late to the races. And to be honest with you, sometimes it's on purpose. You know what I mean? I'm just not one of them guys. I don't feel like I need to be there a day before the race to be ready. You know what I mean? Like no different than a street race. I can roll in a street race, unload my shit, and in 5 minutes be on the starting line, right? So, I feel like if I'm there 7 or 8 minutes for the driver's meeting, I'm good. So
yeah. Well, you should be showing up prepared, ready to go.
But here's the thing. When I come in the gate late like that, I don't expect a special parking place. I don't expect to park in the opposite direction the other 30 cars in a line are, right? You know what I do? I simply drive to where there's a fucking parking place, park, and keep my mouth shut. Not difficult.
Right.
Not difficult at all. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, some stuff, I'm not going to lie, is frustrating and annoying, but at the same time, it is what it is. And I've learned one thing from putting races on over the last 4 or 5 years is that, you just got to kind of have thick skin and put up with some of it. And, and as your events get bigger, more problems come along with that. And you just try to do the best you can do to mitigate them problems, I guess. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, man. Like, this event, I knew it wasn't going to be huge. You know what I mean? We did the best we could do with the amount of time we had, but we still had Limpy down there. You know what I mean? We had Jamie Deere on the mic. We had our crew. Charlie wasn't at this one, but I'm sure he will be next year. We have the same great group of people that put this event on. My sister, I'm not going to do an event without Limpy on the light. I mean, we try to run a professional thing. It works good. I don't fix things that ain't broken. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to spend the money to have a good event. I firmly believe the racers ought to be paid. And the problem I have, and I'm not naming names, and I'm not even thinking of any other promoter, in all honesty, is, racers you can't go support people that ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, because inevitably what bad promoters are going to do is put racetracks out of business, period. When spectators don't come through the gate, racetracks don't make money and promoters don't make money unless the promoters are paying. If a promoter's paying X amount of money to rent a facility and not doing his job promoting it, well, shame on him and good for the track,
Wait, you mean we should work all year long, countless hours and profit?
Yeah.
What? We should spend hundreds of hours putting events together.
Yeah.
And profit?
Yeah.
I'd never heard of such a thing. I would love to see the people who say that take their ass to work for 3 weeks, 4 weeks without getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, buddy, listen, that's not the first event I've lost money on. Okay, to everybody out there. Now, here's the other thing. I'm transparent. I'm like cellophane. You can see right through me. I'll tell you straight up. I mean, like, I've had events where I've made big money. I've had events where I lose money. This is a risky business to be in, especially when you operate the way we do. You know what I mean? Like, I invest a lot of money so that I can put a high quality event on. I have people in place that I pay good because they're awesome at their job. You know what I mean? And we try to keep a good thing going. And you know what? That's why, to be honest with you, that's why people like the Prestons and Ryan and Hate Tank and Jasper and Fast Guy, them guys tell me, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate every person that came and raced and supported the event, I love seeing everybody have fun, and it wasn't a huge car count, but it was an awesome event. It really was a good one.
Oh, it was. The action was amazing. I was so grateful that Bob was there to do the live feed.
Yeah, Bob's awesome. I charged Bob 2 cans of Copenhagen to set up his merch bin.
Bob's awesome. I love that dude to death.
Yeah. But it was fun, and the feedback from it was awesome. And I mean, the track owner ran radio commercials, and I think Gangster's Paradise, I mean, we've got 8 months to plan this event. It's going to be off the hook, trust me. I think it will be just like I thought. We got really bad luck with the weather and all that at Gangster's Paradise at Brown County, but I don't think anybody would. I'm sure you would agree that Friday night of racing was the best racing of the year. Dude, I mean, I don't think anything even comes close to comparing to it, honestly. I mean, where else did you have a field of cars like that all at the same time? You didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad you're moving it to Wagler too, because I'll be honest, I agree with you. Gangster's Paradise, 3 weeks later, War in the Woods.
Yeah, it's not good. I know.
It's not good. This will be good. Break it up. I think that's a smart decision.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm coming. So who do you have for sponsors and all that stuff? I got I don't even know what to call this dude right now. He thinks he's an MMA fighter
Who?
in the lobby.
Oh, Tony McKinney?
Is his eye spooled up? Wait. Oh no, his head's just fat.
What is it?
Is your head swollen up from the fight, or is it always that big?
No, I just got off the fishing boat. I'm sunburnt.
Oh God, sunburnt. What? No more questions. You came to the wrong place, pal.
Yeah, I figured that. Fuck, and you got Jeff Thomas on here. I know I'm in for trouble for giving him shit. Hey, I was just bullshitting about the Eric Mans race. I promise.
Yeah. Hey, I'm next, Tony. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So everybody blew me up with this freaking video before I even knew what happened. And I talked to you today. We'll fill everybody in on.
So yeah, I'll say this. Man, I'm a man of my word. Period. Whether I get an ass whooping, I give one, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I hold people to a higher standard. And if they give me their word on something, I try to hold them to it. I was lied to. It cost me a bunch of money, points, time. And I didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me. So, we was able to squash it now. It's done. But I did everything I said I was going to do. So, I don't know. I hold people to a higher standard, man. I don't like being taken advantage of. And I feel like that's what happened.
That's all you gotta say.
Man, I'm trying to be somewhat politically correct about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's talk about that pothole you tripped over.
oh fuck, dude. Listen, my knee is so fucked up. Like when I went to swing, and like I don't know what happened, but like 2 or 3 people grabbed me and somebody was dragging me across the fucking road while he was hitting me. I'm like, what the fuck? And nobody grabbed him. I was like, which it was what it was. As soon as they let go and we broke it up, I wanted to go somewhere. I didn't have my ass whipped enough, apparently.
It's all right, man.
One thing I'll tell you, I don't quit. I'm too dumb to know any better.
Well, I mean, you're still standing and you don't got quit.
But listen, here's the problem that I had. When you go to a race and you're asked to switch chips with somebody because the other team is faster or the other 2 team members are faster, and I agreed with that. And you're told, hey, you're not getting traded, nothing's happening. I know it's going to put you behind the points. I took that to heart. So then when I got traded and I feel like it was done behind my back, I felt like, I had to at least stick up for myself.
I mean, I can agree with that. Should be transparency on all that stuff.
There should be.
And like that right there, switching chips is lame.
Yeah. It is what it is. At this point, man, I didn't expect a fucking video to come out of it so soon. God damn.
I like that chick's commentary.
Who's?
That took the video.
Yeah, I never even seen it. I haven't even been on Facebook. I've been trying to relax and get away from all of it and decompress a little bit. I said, Bobby's loading the boat up right now. We just literally got off the lake, or got off the ocean.
You haven't seen it?
I got to go fish with my fat buddy.
Who the fuck is that?
It's Ohio brothers.
Thanks.
So me, Bobby, Tim Brown, Doug.
Who's that, Bobby? Hey, Tim.
That's
will
Tim.
You teach him how to fight?
Shut up.
Tim, will you teach him how to fight?
I'm walking away from all of them. They don't need to hear your influence.
How many fish you catch?
They didn't need to hear your influence.
How many times? Shit.
No, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. It's over. I'm glad it's over. But you'll see how, I don't know. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Everybody says, oh, it was staged. It was staged. It wasn't staged. I was pissed off. And I let my emotions get the best of me. And I swore I would never do that on camera. Do I?
Did they take the video down?
Who?
I was trying to play it for you.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I was trying to show it to you.
I'm sure you sent it to me already. I bet there's 900 messages in my messenger.
I guess they took it down. I can't pull it up. She must have took it down.
Facebook's soft.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Yep, they took it down. Damn, I should have screen recorded that shit. Oh, it's on YouTube?
Oh, this motherfucker. If it can be found, you'll find it.
Let's see. Tony,
friends.
McKinney, ass whooping.
Jeff, please find new friends.
Did you catch any fish, Tony?
I did not. Doug caught them all. We all took pictures with them, claimed they were ours, but we did not.
Hey, you know, I put your name in the video of me buying that trailer off of you comes up. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I swear, hey, listen, the mosquitoes out here in Louisiana ain't no joke. Some motherfuckers fight better than any of us. They hurt and they're big.
They're like those myelin pterodactyls. Myelin got some pterodactyls up there. What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mosquitoes up here are relentless. They hurt like hell.
What?
What's that smell like? Hold on,
Tony.
I've smelled her before. Do I?
You gonna be racing that gay no prep kings crap next year? Or you gonna come race with the real gangsters?
Man, I keep getting asked that. I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I find out this week what is entail for next year. I actually built a pretty gangster small tire car that I would really like to get out. Man, my problem with racing the NPK is these guys are so fast that it's an adrenaline rush. Like, we finally just started running personal best numbers. Like, we stayed and tested on Sunday, and we've not really had a good test session up until this past Sunday. This past Sunday showed a lot of promise. And we found stuff in the converter and the trans and some other things that just helped us go almost 200 mile an hour. And I say almost within a number.
So you guys are getting close to as fast as they are at War in the Woods, then, right, Josh?
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Let's see if this is it.
Man, Josh ain't gonna quit, is he? He gonna find that video and make me watch it.
What are friends for? So far, it's a bunch of retards that are. Oh, sorry, it's a bunch of dummies that are just putting it up there. And
did y'all see Tony McKinney can't fight?
hey, Bub, would you, while he's down there with you, would you teach him a little something?
That motherfucker learn how to duck or something.
Look how big his head is. Look,
My
look.
head ain't all beat up though.
Mother.
You got pop knots all over your face.
Man, I need new friends. Can I come hang out with you, Jeff?
You need to learn how to duck.
I'm gonna start hanging out with Jeff Thomas.
They must have took it down off of.
Do what?
You lucky mother effer, because they must have took it down off of YouTube too.
When I was done, look, this is no shit. Bobby, come here. Bobby, look. When it was done and over, Bobby, come here. When it was done and over, I hear. I look over, I see this. I said,
I
"What
ran all
happened?"
the way
He
across
said,
the damn
"Man,
parking
I ran all the way over here from my pit. His pit was 20 feet away. This fat motherfucker was out of breath running 20 feet."
Well, that's a true friend to run over there and help pick you up off the ground.
Hey, listen, I swear to you, when I turned around, he was one of the first ones there. I promise you. He was like, "Man, I didn't know what was going on." They said Tony was in a fight.
Yeah, they must have took it down. I see a video here that says Bobby Ducati squares up. I don't see him tripping and falling.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, I sent it to you in Messenger. Is it still in there or it won't pull it up?
No, they pulled it off of Facebook, I guess. Did you get it? Did you get it to play? Let me see. Yeah, no, it won't. It won't pull up. It must have took it down off of YouTube also.
I legit have not been on Facebook all day. I shut my phone down and I went fishing, and I haven't looked at my messenger. My daughter sent me a message and was like, "Wow, you gotta check out your messenger."
Oh,
Nope.
Did they
I'm not
take it
checking
down
any of
because it's too graphic of violence?
He found it. I can tell by the look on his face. He found it.
oh.
He found it. I can tell by the look on his face. He found it. You all right?
I hope somebody put it in the comments. I see it, Josh. Do you?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up.
I can't see any of the comments. I can't see nothing.
I can't. Rob, send that to me on Messenger. I can't pull it up off
You're
the.
at some Mexican restaurant in Hattiesburg. How far away is that?
I can't pull it up off that comment.
Renee and Jim and hello. 2 hours?
Well, you're gonna be hungry. It's 30 minutes, man.
Where we
There
stopping?
it is.
Huh? I don't care.
There it is.
We just listen. We ate, right, and we get out on the water, and Bobby bought sandwiches and snacks. I look over, and this motherfucker's eating. I'm like, "Bobby, there's no way you're hungry." He goes, "I always eat my fish."
All right. There we go. Finally. Geez, that was a journey. Sorry, everyone. But this is worth it.
I don't know if I can see it. Can I see it?
Oh, you'll see it. I'm going to load it right in the screen as soon as it comes in through my email.
You're gonna get canceled. I'm gonna make sure of it.
That's all right. It won't be the first time.
Yeah, I know. Last time was for gay midget porno thing.
Well, I think that's what this kind of looks like.
It looks silly as hell. I guarantee it.
Looked like you tripped and fell and he just hopped right on you, a little humpy.
He had to have been. I don't like. You can tell he didn't really. I don't think he really wanted to fight either, but because nothing really connected, or you know what I mean. Like I didn't feel. Everybody asked me, was like, because I got a bunch of messages. Did he knock you? No, he didn't knock me out. I just looked silly.
No, it didn't really look like they were all that intense.
But the good, like, we talked afterwards. We haven't talked since, but we talked afterwards. And he you know, like I told him on my side and why I was pissed off and what happened, and he's seen it a whole different way. Everybody says, you know, I've been asked, "Oh, was it for TV?" No, it wasn't for TV. I don't give a shit about that. I do things that, you know, are right for me. And at the end of the day, if I say something, I mean it, regardless of how the outcome is.
Right.
And that's how it went down.
I don't know why the hell this is taking so long. It's pissing me off. Oh, I got to work so hard to be a dick.
Because you got dial-up.
I don't appreciate it.
Do what?
So I don't know why I got to work so hard to be a dick to you. I don't appreciate it.
In all seriousness, if my phone dies, I'll have to call you back or see if I can't get on my other phone and get it charged.
If my phone dies. Y'all hear this shit?
So,
Yeah.
Tony, what are you saying? You're going to find out this week, or is No Prep King going to do the same stupid shit with their schedule where it's top secret?
No, I honestly don't know. We're supposed to talk about it. We got meetings this week. and I'm going to find out, what it's about, what it's like, what's going to happen. Because we don't know. We don't have any answers. We just know that there's qualifiers we have to go to now, and they added 2 more races this year. So there is no answers, and we don't know. So I don't know. I was told it was happening next year, but nobody knows to what extent. If we got to build new cars, I don't want to build a brand new car for this. I don't have the funds to do that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's so many people that have found gray areas.
Would you give
that don't even they don't even get back on the list for it.
Oh, got the Eye of the Tiger music too! Did he teabag you?
You guys want to do something to eat? Thanks, brother. Thank you. Yes, sir. You too. You coming tomorrow for shrimp bowl?
No, I got some other stuff I got to go do. Someone's got to work for something.
All right. Hey, I'm following you. Josh,
They put the Eye of the Tiger on there for you, buddy.
I still love you, but you're a dick.
But you know what I didn't notice earlier? I noticed on that one, and I closed the screen out, so you'll just have to watch it later. I think he teabagged you too. Like when you're on the ground, he threw a punch and he went. Ugh.
No, that didn't happen.
Tony, you telegraphed that first right hand bad. I mean, fucking Ray Charles could see that motherfucker coming.
Bro, from like 25 feet away, he ran the whole way with it. Like, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm so aggravated with myself over it.
And then fell.
Yep. I wish I wouldn't have done it, honestly.
No, listen, like we talked about earlier, man. Okay. Learning curve.
Listen, but here's the thing, is I wish I wouldn't have done it, but at the same time, and I'm just being honest, I'm a man of my word. I said I was going to do something if something happened, and I did, which is more than I can say for a lot of other people, and people can give me shit all they want, but Josh, you guys both know there's a lot of people out there talking a lot of shit, but will not take the chance of taking an ass whooping to stick up for their word.
Oh, you're right.
I'm always running.
Right.
Guaranteed.
They'll run their mouth on the internet. They'll do everything they can do, but not one of them have the balls to take an ass whooping or give one or even stand up for what they believe in.
There's two things that happen to a fight.
I'm always running.
One guy, you either get ass whooping or you give one. Period.
Right, and he didn't pop no cherry. I've had it whooped before, so.
It's great odds, 50-50.
50-50.
Right.
It's like roulette.
Right. But one thing they can't take away from me is the fact that I can still look myself in the mirror every day because I stick true to what I say.
Well, listen, it ain't about winning or losing. It's about, like you said, seeing it through and having the heart to stand up for yourself and what you believe in. Because at the end of the day, losing a fight is nothing compared to who you see when you look in the mirror.
Right. I'll never lose my heart. I promise you that.
So is it safe to say you and Justin are no longer buddies?
Now, you know what? We talked a little bit, and I'll just be 100% honest. Hopefully we can squash it. It's done. But that's the whole purpose of doing what we do. You know what I mean? You don't go out and you don't wave guns. You don't wave knives. You handle it with your fists, and then, 2 days later, you're friends. Where I grew up, that's just how it went down.
You threatened Jasper?
Huh?
You threatened to kick his ass if you didn't give him a rerun, so he reran you.
No, I did not.
You're a horrible human being. Jasper's the nicest guy.
Listen, I love Jasper. I would never threaten Jasper. Jasper is honestly one of the, he don't know this. He is truly one of the reasons I still race.
Oh, dude, Jasper's an awesome dude.
I was ready to quit, and man, he beat up on me several times. And he comes up to me and he goes, "Man, I followed you for years." And I don't know if he remembers this conversation or not, but he goes, "I followed you for years, dude, and you never give up." And he goes, "That's why I love watching you race."
Hey, I wouldn't be trying to fight with Jasper. He's pretty intimidating in that in that Buddy Burnswell driving suit he's got. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
He looked awfully buff, didn't he?
Yeah. Hey, did you see that, Josh? You probably didn't. At the
I saw the
chip
picture.
draw. No, at the chip draw, I drew the chips, and I pulled one out, and it said Buddy Burnswell. And at first, I was like, "Who the fuck's Buddy Burnswell?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, that's Jasper."
My man, Jasper's a good dude, man. Definitely one of my favorite people.
That's just me.
Hey guys, before my phone goes dead, I'm gonna get off here so I can keep directions because I do not have a phone charger with me.
Yep. Have a good evening, brother. I'm glad that you love me enough to come on here and let me roast you.
Listen, I'm sorry if I let any of my friends down, but I am who I am. Y'all know me. I usually don't get that aggravated or that pissed off. I usually let shit slide, but there's certain things in life that you have to stick up for yourself for.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, man. Lesson learned. Figure out how to deal with it better next time. Just keep moving forward.
Oh, absolutely.
We all still love you.
Doug said literally, next time move forward. I need a new crew chief. If anybody knows. The one I have is an asshole.
I don't know. I kind of like him.
Hey, listen, he looks at me, he goes, after it's all said and done, he goes, dude, I watched you have to jump and hit somebody to fight. And you did way better during that one than you did this one. What happened? I said, man, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really couldn't tell you. He said it's my eyes. I'm getting old and can't see. My depth perception's off.
All right, brother.
Guys,
well, have a good evening.
Hopefully y'all still love me.
Absolutely.
All right, see you, Tony.
We'll see you, brother.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too. That dude, he's a wreck. I love that they put the Eye of the Tiger music on that thing. That was so funny. I kind of feel bad roasting him because look, we talked earlier and like he genuinely feels bad about, the way he handled it. But I agree with him. You got to stand up for yourself for sure.
Let's be real, man.
But,
nope. It's easy to say shit. Nobody really wants to take ass whooping. Every man's got a certain amount of pride, right? So unfortunately for Tony, he's out there in the public eye because of that Rainbow No Prep Kings. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it inherently worse. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's a huge multiplier for sure. As far as people finding out, but
Tony's awesome guy though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think for 1 second Tony would fly off the handle and do that. He'd have to be pretty pissed, and I would assume it was pretty much warranted. You know what I mean? You got to remember, when you go to swing at somebody though, you take the risk of getting your ass whooped.
Oh yeah. Well, he he knows he shouldn't have done it. We talked about it earlier. It's like, dude, look at how that all played out. He ran, he tripped and fell into him. It was like, I told him, I said, it just wasn't meant to be, and it was meant to be a lesson on how to handle that stuff better next time. And he agrees. Yeah. There's a little bit more to it than what he said, but so I can understand losing his composure, but learning curve, right? But you definitely have to stand up for yourself 100%. And what he's talking about did cost him a lot of money, and there's a lot of bullshit behind it, a lot of fuckery.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about that. That's that thing I don't like about No Prep Kings. Like, I know so many of those guys, and I hear so many of the stories. A lot of them dudes, man, that smile and everybody loves on the camera are some real cutthroat pieces of shit behind the scenes, and they will fuck their mother over for $1. And it's sad how they get portrayed. And I'll probably get a little bit of backlash on this, but I don't really care because the truth is always the truth no matter what. A lot of those dudes are real pieces of shit that just fuck anybody over they can, every way they can. And it's sad that they get portrayed as good guys or heroes or whatever on TV because that's what sells shirts and ratings and blah, 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 blah. But it ain't what they show you.
Yeah, that's shitty.
But I guarantee you Monza will not go down Brown County. Scared as fuck. Paid him to come out to Marion County, and he went down it once, and him and his son cried like little girls about it and wouldn't go back down.
Geez, Marion County's as wide as an interstate.
Listen, and then I had a kid complain. Listen, I had a kid complain, an 8-year-old kid complain because he had, I don't know what hat he had, but he was taking his own personal hat and going around to people and getting signatures. And dude wouldn't autograph it because it wasn't a Monza hat. He didn't buy a shirt or didn't buy any merch from him, so he wouldn't sign an 8-year-old kid's hat.
Jeez, that's pathetic.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to keep my mouth shut after that, but yeah. That's why I like all the real no prep racers, because that shit would never happen. I've never ever heard of anybody that does the local, I guess that's what we would call it, right? Local no prep racers. They love and appreciate all the supporters, all the spectators, and I've never heard of anything like that. You know.
Hey, look at Preston's. They send that Corvette right down anything.
Give zero fucks
Give
and do a great
fucks.
job.
And that car's worth that car's worth as much as 15 of some of the other cars at the event together. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man. Nah, they're and as humble as can be, and just show up and do their job, man. You got to respect their entire program. But anyhow, let's go back to Wagler. Didn't mean for that interruption to take so long, but we had to have a little fun.
There's much more. I do have one other exciting thing. We're trying to put something together that I think is going to be epic for Gangsters Paradise, and I'm working on a deal to have 10 of the baddest donks in the country, and have a 10-car field of donks at Gangsters Paradise with a big buy-in. I'm not going to release the rest of that until it's closer and we drop a list, but I'd say there's a real good chance of it happening, which I think will be awesome because them cars are no joke, bud.
No,
them cars are rolling
now.
You know what I mean?
In the past 3-4 years, I mean, before, they were kind of all right, but seriously, in the past 3, 4, 5 years, gangsters. Probably could. Some of them could probably even go in small tire and do well.
Yeah, well, what do you call it? I can't think of a better place for them to be than Gangsters Paradise. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Where's Wagler at?
Wagler is a little southwest of Brown County, so it's south of Terre Haute, and it's basically due south of Terre Haute, Indiana. It's in Lyons, Indiana. It's about an hour and 30 minutes southwest of Indianapolis. They got a lot of bleachers. It's an awesome place, man. It's a really nice track. They got every piece of track equipment, everything. They got the whole 9 yards down there. So
you'll know exactly where it is next year. Just like everybody knows where Brown County is.
I just seen Ryan Betts said that. We may even try to do that too. It might be a small field, Ryan, but at Gangsters Paradise, it will be a big buy-in, and it's a 2-day race. So, but I don't think that's a bad idea.
I agree.
I mean, hard tire's huge at Josh's race and my race for sure. Mine's a little.
And they're flying. These guys are flying.
Oh,
they're flying. Yeah. It's as exciting to watch as small tire, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think hard tire has a place in Gangster's Paradise, man. I definitely think,
Yeah,
yeah.
only thing
I
is,
can
I
think of a
really
small
want to
field.
limit the entries because I want to run 2 complete races in 2 days.
Yeah. No, I think a small 16 car field would probably be the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
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 They'd be staggered out throughout the rest of the stuff, so they'd be sitting a bit, but it'd be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jasper's talking about sponsors. Who were all your sponsors for the race?
Oh man, we did awesome on sponsors. Strange was in there big time again, really helped with the purse. Pro Charger, R&R transmission, RPM transmission, Motion Raceworks, Circle D converters. That's the main ones. Innovative Slots, Thomas Racing Service, Brown's Oil Service. I mean, we paid a pretty good purse out for the small car count that we had, And you know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little surprised the car count wasn't a little better, but I'm kind of guessing that a big part of that. Well, there were some other races going on, but it's kind of the end of the year, and some guys have already got their shit torn apart and they're done for the season, So I heard that from quite a few. So it is what it is, man. I say it all the time. Look. We've had almost 100 cars in small tire at War in the Woods. I don't need 100 cars to put a kick-ass race on. Quantity does not validate your event. Newsflash, okay? It don't. Free entry races are not impressive to me, okay? To me, that's being thirsty to get racers to your event. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you remember back to even when War in the Woods first started, before it was as big as it is now, I mean, we used to have high 30s in the small tire. Man, we had some awesome races then. I mean, hell of a show. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give that much. That don't phase me. I ain't worried about that. That's why I quit doing lock-ins.
Yeah.
There's money there. It's a party. People they're gonna come. Why hassle with lock-in anymore? I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
If you're doing your job as a promoter and people know you're honest and you're going to pay your purse, you shouldn't have to do lock-ins. I mean, I paid a lot of lock-ins in my day too, and I don't have a problem with it. I understand it, but I feel like, think about it for a minute. If you do your homework and you get out there and you get some sponsors and you have added money, right? You're going to get racers. As long as your event's not a complete and total shit show, right? I mean, you're going to get the racers. So why, why? I mean, I don't like moving that money through apps. It's a pain in the ass to keep track of. It makes everything more,
No,
Thanks, Chuck.
I agree
Appreciate you, brother.
Nope, I agree with you.
But hey, Nitrous Nikki has helped me a lot with that and with sponsors, and we're starting to build a relationship with and these companies want to be involved, and I think next year it's going to be way better. We're going to be in at the beginning of the year with these companies where they have their full budget for sponsorship, and they're excited, man. They want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? That's the big difference, man. When you first start promoting, you're begging to get one beer koozie. Now that the event, and I hope that the Purge and Gangster's Paradise will do the same thing, which I do, because we're going to do it the same way and put the effort in and grow it. And it ain't going to happen overnight, but it'll be successful. And these companies are going to come right along for the ride, and we're going to give them something for their money. That's what it comes down to.
It's just like everything else in life, like we were talking about earlier, and small tire racing. You've put in all the hard work. You've suffered. You've taken all the lumps in the beginning, and now they see they see that there's a benefit to them to sponsor it, because at the end of the day, they give money to the races in exchange for exposure, and hopefully that exposure gets them sales. I mean, it's a business transaction. Let's just be transparent.
100%.
So,
And you know what I tell them? I say, listen, I don't bullshit them and say, you know, we're going to this, we're going to that, right? I say, if you come, I encourage them to try to come to one of the events, okay? And then when that event is over, you know, give me your input on the event, right? And be honest with me. Do you feel like you feel like you got what you paid for? You know what I mean? Right. And overwhelmingly from very large companies, it has been the best sponsorship investment they've made. Now think about this for a second. Let's say that you're a big, huge company. I don't even want to mention any names. And you go to, and I'm not hating on any other series, okay? But I'll throw out 3 or 4 different ones. NMCA, NMRA, PDRA, right? You know what all those sanctioning bodies have in common? They got no spectators in the stands, okay? Right. Not an opinion, that's a fact, right? Here's another thing they got in common. 60, 70% of the field probably is already using their product, okay? So if they're not, they're using the competition. So they don't even really have very many prospects for new customers, and they have none in the stands. None, right?
Right.
So if they're sponsoring, like say NMCA, you know, what are they really getting for their money? You know what they're doing? They're taking money and the promoter is using it to put his events on. Maybe throwing a little bit of it at the purse. Now let's look at your event or my event. At War in the Woods, I don't keep 1 penny of the sponsor money. Not 1 cent. You know why? Because I do my job and I bring spectators through the gate and I make my money off the gate. And then I take the money from the sponsors and I pay the racers that put the show on who deserve it. You know, when Preston take a 200,000 car down Brown County at 165 miles an hour, if they win that race, they deserve to get paid.
Absolutely.
Not some bullshit $100 hat race with a $1,200 payout. You know, and you know what's funny is some people out there and some promoters would say I'm a huge asshole for saying that. But here's the thing. I don't really speak in opinions much. What I just said is a fact. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
it's math. It's basic math. I was arguing with somebody about street racing earlier a week or 2 ago. And he was like, I just like the street race for fun. I'm like, listen, when the Blazers out, I'm not street racing nobody for fucking fun. Mm-hmm. I'm not risking my vehicle for fun. I mean, test and tune, that's a whole different story. But I'm not going to be like, hey, Bob, I'm going to drive an hour to your spot and street race you for fucking fun. Not going to happen. Risk versus reward is not worth it. And that's no different at the track. Because that is what it is. It's risk versus reward. You're risking your car, you're risking your life, you're risking whatever, you know.
Let me tell you something right now. The top guys, the guys that have a legitimate chance to win the big pots at these events, I've always said this about War in the Woods, and it's a fact, I think. They want the money, but they want the prestige of winning that event. And, you know, even myself, dude, I'll split a 30,000 motor in half to win a $15,000 purse. And I'll sleep like a baby that night. You know what I mean? Because if you're really into this, it's about more than money. But don't get me wrong. Would you think that anybody would be out there running a $100,000 car down a sketchy ass narrow track for $1,500? No. You know, you're not going to get the big time cars there. You know what I'm saying? You're not. And if you want to pack the stands, I'm a firm believer that you need a good field of cars. Now, here's the thing. I'm not being a hypocrite. When we first started War in the Woods, you know, we did have some heavy hitters there, but that by no means does that mean that a field of guys without as expensive of cars can't put a great show on. They can, 100%. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking that a bit. You know what I mean? Just and here's the other thing. I'm not a hypocrite either based off this. I've raced at lots of races with small pots. You know what I mean? I've sponsored series that do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, if you want your grandkids to have a place to race, tracks have got to make money. Okay. And in order for that to happen, promoters got to run their events like a business. Okay. That means they have one goal. Well, you know, like me, I have multiple goals with my event, but one of those is to make money, without a doubt.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
that's a lot of time. Just like I said earlier, anybody who says promoters shouldn't make money should go to work to their job for 200 or 300 hours for free.
well, that statement doesn't even
You know what I mean?
deserve a reply. It's so stupid.
It's so asinine, the amount of work that goes in to any of these events, the better ones, for people to even say that. But I don't know.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing too, Josh. Think about this. Like, we've talked about this, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but if I make a rule for any particular event, right, that rule is in place for a reason, and probably a very, very, very good reason. Okay. That probably entails a lot of common sense and nothing more, right? You know, I don't allow testing at Brown County because if you know, you think Preston's ain't going to rent the track when they're racing for 40 grand a night and come down there? I mean, now, do you think people are going to drive from California or Louisiana or Texas, shit, even from Ohio, to race against a team with that kind of, you know, with that kind of advantage? Of course they're not. And then, so what is that? When that happens, what happens? Gangster's Paradise doesn't happen. And then what happens? The track doesn't make any money, and the promoter doesn't make any money. You know what I mean? And the vendors that I have that come in that are awesome don't want to come back because guess what? They didn't make any fucking money. Now, and then guess what the last bowling pin to fall over is? The track closes its gates and the whole thing's over, okay? So all you dumbasses out there that go on and on about that, you know, you guys should think, you know, and some of the people that run their mouth about that are the first people to buy a ticket to come into the race. You know what's hilarious? I love it. Give me that money, you dumbass hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? I love every second of it. It's hilarious to me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the biggest thing is we all just need to do a little bit better job of living in reality.
Yeah.
You know, the people who get on Facebook and bitch about races, again, they're not going to go to work for X amount of hours that a promoter does the same amount of work to make a race great. They're not going to go to their 9 to 5 for free. You know, and the fact of the matter is, if you want to be better, you got to do better. And I've had this argument all for the last couple of weeks because, and a little more intently because of the Cincy Street Nights crybaby debacle.
Well, you don't even want to get me started on that. You take two of the best guys in the business, you're not going to find better people than them two, and you push them to the point where they say, "Fuck this, I'm not doing it anymore." So any bullshit excuse about that is ridiculous and doesn't deserve a reply. Once again, you know what I mean? As racers, you should be thankful you got people like Jason and Brad to go out of their way and put a quality event on like that. You know what I mean? You know what this is like? It's like that kid in class in school that won't shut his mouth and ruins recess for the rest of the class. That's what that is.
It is. You know, it's just, you know,
like you just said, there a lot of common sense. And then the number one thing my dad ever told me, you know, was think before you open your mouth. If people would just do that more, like, for example, I'm the kind of person where if I make a certain statement, I probably expect somebody to want to fight, right? That's why I think before I open my mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's sad to see stuff like that happen because, in my opinion, you know, it's think about it. We all go to a lot of races, and there's a lot of great people that put races on and do a good job at it. You know what I mean? I'm not negative on that, and I think that as a whole, the racing community should never say a negative word about anybody that's putting a good effort in to make a great place for us to race, right? If they would apply a little bit of that energy to quit trying to be relevant on Facebook and maybe try to help a promoter, they'd be a lot better off. You know what I mean? And I can tell you right now, my phone is blown up for 2 weeks. There's a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people in the know here that are sick of that shit, man. You know what I mean? Have had enough. Yeah. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it brings you to the point where, is it like, you know, people that cause problems, should they just not be allowed into events? You know, I use this as an example. Like, if I have a business and I got 20 employees and I got one employee that's just cancer to the rest of the employees, what do you do with that employee? You fire their ass, and the sooner you get it done, the better, right?
Absolutely.
You know, this is supposed to be fun, and just shouldn't be so much drama around it, man. You know what I mean? Like,
nope, I agree.
That's what I love about like your race or War in the Woods, or even, I'll tell you, this weekend, how awesome, man. We started racing at 5, we were done at 10, you know, and it was kind of, I mean, it was definitely the opposite of War in the Woods, but it was kind of cool that everybody had fun. Everybody was happy. There was absolutely no bitching. You know what I mean? None. Not one crybaby in the whole place. So, you know, kudos to all the people that came, man.
And that's what should be. Again, live in reality. First time race, 3 weeks to promote it. You know, that's what's expected. But you got to build and grow from somewhere. So, no, I agree, man. Constructive criticism is always welcome. You know, we got some after Uncaged, and we're definitely making some changes to make it better. I'm working on another.
I welcome it, and I promise I'll hear you out. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'll 100% change everything that you don't like about it, but I'm going to definitely take everything I hear into consideration without cussing at you. I can promise you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're coming from a place of respect and again, cooperation, like, hey, man, I'm just, you know, this is a suggestion. Take it how you want. Might make the race better, might not. Hell yeah, you're going to get a lot further than boo-hoo on Facebook.
Yeah, it don't help nothing.
I got a pretty, I got to call you. I got a pretty gangster concept for a race that me and Tony are going to put on next year. And I guarantee you it's invite only. It wasn't that at first, but it's invite only. And I guarantee you I got a list of all the crybabies. And I don't give a fuck how fast you are. If you're watching this, I don't give a fuck how much you cry. Your crybaby ass will not get invited. You might as well start crying now. Go ahead and make the post right now. You will not be invited. Stay your crybaby ass the fuck at home. And there's like 6 or 7 of you. I know you watch. Figure something else out, because when this shit happens, you will be crying.
Well, hey, I hope that, you know, whatever people you categorize like that, maybe like what I just said, you know what I mean? Maybe some people will actually think about that and understand it a little better. Like, for example, you know, let me tell you something. When people who have a big following on social media, right? Like, let's just say, you know, I don't care who it is, anybody, right? When they say negative stuff, there's X amount of people that are going to believe it, irregardless if it's true or not. Now, that could hurt an event, right? And then what does that do? That might hurt the event's payout, which that person races at. You get what I'm saying? They are inadvertently taking money out of their own pocket if they win an event. I mean, it's really dumb when you really think about it. You know what I mean? Whereas you have 2 other options. You could do something to try to help, and maybe some of their bitching and complaining is accurate. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not. And if it is, then what could you do? You could, you know, they could help to resolve it and make it better. And then what happens? Holy shit, now we got more spectators because we resolved this issue. Now we got a bigger payout. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that could happen that would make things better and more positive instead of making the whole sport go backwards. Let me tell you something. I'll say this to you right now. This is a fact too. The sport's getting watered down. There's too many events. Now, in reality, that it could fix itself, because the cream of the crop should rise to the top, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, when there's so many events getting booked on top of each other, you know, most of the hardcore racers are going to go where the money is, or the better, I guess, the quote unquote better event is, right? But it seems like everybody and their brother wants to be a no prep promoter nowadays, right? Which
is the irony to me. So, okay, let's say there's there's 5 races in a weekend that compete with, say, Uncaged, Warner Woods, whatever, and you feel like you're not fast enough to compete at one of those events, there's 4 other fucking races you can go to. Don't cry about
exactly
the event that you feel like you're not competitive in. Go somewhere else. Listen, the very first Uncaged, Eric Mans called me and he said, you know what? I love Eric to death, and I took zero offense to it because I understood what he was saying. It was our very first race. I knew it was going to be small. It wasn't going to be great. And he said, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to KD because it's going to be a lot more competitive there. I'm going to come to your race because I feel like I got a better chance of winning. And you know what? That's what happened. He won the very first Uncaged because all the more elite people went to Midnight Madness and he came to Uncaged when it was its very first race.
Oh, I get that. I think there's a lot of guys, even really fast guys, that do that. You don't want to see the top 5 fastest guys don't all want to be at the same event every weekend. Their odds of making money are going down exponentially. But here's the other thing. You'll notice this, like Jasper said it the other day. I'm the same way. Buddy, I took my ass whooping from Preston's first round Saturday night gladly, okay? If you're a real racer, you want to race the fast guys. I mean, that's a fact too now. You know what I mean?
Because you want to know what the bar is so you can,
you want to step your game up, you need to know where you stand. And racing against them will only do one thing, make you faster. So for all the cherry pickers out there, eventually you're going to go backwards somehow or another. You got to race big competition to get on their level. There's no other way to do it, period.
Big dogs are never going to lower the bar for you to catch up. You have to step your game up. So lots of stuff, but mostly it's fall. Always towards the end of the season, people start crying about how they're not fast enough and something has to change and blah, blah, blah. But also it's spread. Now, usually people don't bitch about the events, but for some reason now all of a sudden they're blaming their lack of competitiveness on events and promoters and racetracks, and again, they should just look in the mirror and have the conversation. Am I doing enough to race against someone like Ryan Mitchell? No. If he's gapping me by 6 cars, then I'm not. So am I willing to sacrifice any and everything possible to be at his level? Because I guarantee you, he doesn't just go to a race at Warren Woods on Friday, Saturday, win, go home and do nothing until the next race. I guarantee you that dude is busting his ass at his freaking shop, working on cars to make money, working on his junk, testing tune, upgrades, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Constantly working on it and refining it so he can keep his position at the top.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Another thing that's a positive, let me tell you this. Like at War in the Woods, let's be real for 1 minute, okay? What would you say? I mean, let's be real. 85% of the field has a 0 and 100, a 0% chance of winning that event.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't have put myself in the 15% of people that had a chance to win that event. But let me tell you something. Do you know how many racers come to me especially after racing their first time at War in the Woods and say, best $300 I ever spent in my life. I was outgunned. I'll never miss this event again. Just to be a part of it and be out there racing, you know what I'm saying? They don't whine about it. You got to remember that too. That's another thing is a good thing to say. Let's remember that these people whining and bitching are a very small percentage of no prep racers as a whole. The majority of these guys are awesome people that do things, that don't bitch, that generally have good things to say. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like there's always a few bad apples that try to ruin it. Like I try to look at the more positive stuff that comes out of one of my events instead of the negatives. The problem is the negative shit gets so much more attention than the positive stuff. You see what I'm saying? people
Unfortunately.
focus more and talk more about that, you know, which I understand. It's drama. Everybody loves that shit to some extent. But me, I'm like, I've learned that over the last couple of years at War in the Woods where, you know, 15 years ago, I would have punched somebody before I even said a word. You know, now I try to let it roll out. You got to have thick skin to deal with some of this shit, man. You know what I mean? I don't even want to, you know, it's like a buzzkill, man. You're having fun. The race is banging, you know, and then, you know, like how many times do you have to tell somebody, like here'd be a perfect example. At War in the Woods, this has happened before. It's very clear. Limpy makes the final call. Okay. Don't go up to my sister on the fucking stage bitching to her because you went red. Okay. She don't even know what you're talking about when you said you went red.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. And the other thing is, you know, you're right. 99.9% of the no prep community is great. And it is unfortunate that you get that little 0.1% that'll bitch and cry and complain. And then it gets the attention that it gets. And, you know, those guys, a lot of those guys that complain about not being fast enough, you know how many super fast guys I talk to who tell me just about any and everything? I'd say probably 99% of what their program entails, how they got there, blah, blah, what they're doing. You know, if you just are like a decent human being and you just talk to them, and
yeah,
most of these guys will tell you any and everything you want to know so that you can accelerate your program as well.
Oh, yeah. A lot of guys are like that, you know.
You know, I mean, clearly, I guarantee you every racer has something they're going to hold, some percentage of knowledge they're going to hold back. You can't blame anybody for that. But be grateful for what they are willing to share with you. And then somebody else is willing to share something else and something else. And eventually, you know, you put a pretty good program together. And you didn't have to spend all that time and money that they did to get there.
Oh, I try to help people every day. I mean, literally. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like you say, you know what you really need to do? You ever heard this before? People that cause problems, you know what you have to do? You don't give them the time of day. A lot of times those people do it because they want to seem relevant. They got to be in the middle of the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't reply. You don't say nothing. Nothing gets under their skin worse than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Well, no, you're right. That is the reward for being a let me rephrase this. That's when you're right. When you pay attention to those posts, that is the reward for them for not stepping up to a championship role and getting the same attention. That's what they're seeking. I'm glad I caught myself. I was getting ready to say some shit. I'm trying to be better, man, verbally.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm not going to go into it. I wasn't there. I ain't got a dog in the fight, but I was pretty bummed out that Jason and Brad are not putting that race on anymore. You know what I mean? I've become pretty good buddies with them guys, and I mean, it's just really sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the whole racing community, you know, just lost out on a big opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the track will continue the race and it'll be good, but listen, nobody has a heart like 10 soldiers in any race they're at, whether they're putting it on or racing in it, man, is always better off for them being there.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So
yeah, it's a shame that something unfortunate like that happens, you know, and I get it too, though. And I'm sure you do too. I mean, I probably get it even a little bit more. Like, you know, I've had a few moments during the War in the Woods process where it was like, you know, is this even worth it? I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's a 12-month-a-year job. So it almost gets to the point where it's like, man, my sister and I, you know, are bust our ass on this thing to the point where I have a very low tolerance for listening to any bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
enjoy that $5 an hour when it all washes out. You're like,
yeah.
How many hours on this?
But you know how many times I've heard Jeff Thomas is so rich. I mean, I heard somebody say Jeff Thomas made $225,000 off the last one. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen,
I mean,
I know Jeff Thomas, and I guarantee you, if he made that money, you would know it by the amount of race cars that immediately came into his possession.
Yeah,
or Bellet Motors, or
I'd be on the news for something.
Something. It would not be hidden, I guess, is my point. Because we're like, oh, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something. You want to hear what's funny? I'll tell you how opposite of that it is. You know what I mean? I honestly, the week before every event, I'm just sitting there praying, I hope I at least break even. I hope, you know what I mean? I hope the weather doesn't come in. And like right now, just for everybody out there, I've got $20,000 worth of Gangster's Paradise shirts sitting in the shop right here. Anybody needs a shirt, hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
Paul Sherman knows. He said Jeff would buy a giraffe. It would be something like that. You'd be like, War in the Woods, look at our new mascot, Jeffrey the Giraffe.
Yeah. I probably would do something. I say that to Dean all the time that works with me here. I say that, you know, because we always buy the Powerball tickets when it gets up there in the billions. I'm like, well, people don't even know if I was to get that money.
Oh God.
Could you imagine what Brown County would transform into if you gave me $1 billion? Oh Lord.
Oh yeah. How much are the shirts?
I think just $15, $20 shipped probably. Actually, I'm glad you said that because we had some shirts left over from the Purge. We're going to put them, and we got actually the Gangster's Paradise. I'm probably just going to save for the next Gangster's Paradise, but we've got Purge shirts, and we had a few War in the Woods 9 shirts, which was my favorite shirt ever. The picture of the track, the starting line on the back, Josh.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think that's a badass one. There's some of those left, not all sizes, but we're going to put a post up maybe tomorrow about that and try to get rid of those. Blow them out.
That'll be on. So Nitrous Nicky will be making that post.
Yeah, it'll get shared everywhere. I'd like to do that just because I can't. I keep, accumulating stuff sitting around here. I'm gonna need a warehouse before you know it.
Yeah. Well, I need some Purge shirts.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up.
You get hoodies.
Yeah, we got a ton of hoodies. Hey, let me tell you something. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but you want to talk about gangster right before Ryan Mitchell and Isaac Preston race. Did you see that in the video? Jamie plays that siren from the Purge.
Oh yeah.
God, that was cool, man. I mean, Jamie's so awesome too. You know what I mean? Like it's, how can you not have fun? I mean, it was awesome.
I'm sorry. Julie said, "Kill me. Garage is full."
Yeah,
I saw Renee's making some sort of shirt about Tony and his fighting debacle.
Oh Lord, I'll buy one.
I need a 4X hoodie and a couple of shirts though, for sure. I'm getting too wide in the shoulders for a 2X. I need them. My favorite hoodie is still my Furious because it's a 4X when I was fat. I'm
sporting it today, bud.
That's my favorite one, man. The gray one I got, it's a 4X. I could just and get to work. You know what I mean? I don't want to be bothered.
The Furious style shirts are my favorite ones still too.
Yeah, still my favorite car. Hint, hint.
Yeah, I know.
2024.
Yep. We got a few other ones to finish up. Big changes coming for 24.
I'm excited. Tony still owes you a shirt for homemade maple syrup. Yeah, Ricky was moving. And candles, boy. So, all right. I think we've covered just about everything. The Purge was great. Tony shouldn't be fighting. And crybabies are going to be banned from invite-only events. And Tony and I got a doozy of an event that we're putting together, man. I think it's going to be great. And I think any and every – and listen, I've already said this several times on Facebook, and I give zero fucks about it. And I'm supposed to stop cussing, but I give zero fucks. I'm just like Santa Claus in this bitch making a naughty and nice list for you crybabies. Not be invited to my shit. Protest my shit. And listen, I still give zero fucks. You get on there and cry about it later too on social media, and I'll still get on your posts and comment that I don't give a fuck.
Hey, let me drop one other thing. You guys need to tune in on Wednesday night to the table if you haven't been, because I don't know if you like memes to start with. It's pretty epic. So tune in on Wednesday and watch them guys. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Jenny, the dates will all be dropped here in the next couple days for all the events next year. And I'll drop one more little hint. There could be possibly a 5th TRS promoted event next year at another track. But I'm not going to say nothing about it until yeah, I do miss Trey Styles. He was awesome, but I'm not going to drop any details on that, probably like you and Tony's race, until it's a little bit more solid.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's get out of here. I got to go eat again.
Right on, buddy. Hey, thanks for having me on. And once again, I appreciate everybody that supported all my events, War in the Woods and the Purge. And you all mark the Purge down in your calendar next year, because it's going to be big, I promise.
Will this 5th race be in Indiana?
Yep. I'll give one hint. It could have something to do with backside gangsters.
Nice. Indiana needs a good. There isn't any backside events, is there? Backwards or backside?
Nope, there isn't any. I mean, you got some bad surfaces. US 41, Muncie, they're done racing there basically, though. You know, I mean, you got a couple. Salem Airport has gotten a lot faster, but no, there isn't a true backside race anymore. Even Muncie was running from the middle to the end, you know.
Yeah. So yours will be backwards, not backside.
Something like that.
Oh God. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, CJ? All right. What's up, Robert? How you doing? All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had fun. I did. And I got the I know, right? I know.
What did she say? The suspense.
The suspense.
She doesn't even know about it. She's probably like, this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
She said every time I have an idea, she's scared. She's pissed because she knows it's going to be more work.
She loves it, though.
Yeah, she does an awesome job, too.
She does. She's great. All right, everyone. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
See you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy. Bye.
Bye.